brakeman?
The brakeman is the very important member of the railroad team of workers who takes care of the brakes and makes sure that all the lines are connected between the cars. Brakes are very important because they stop the train. The brakeman makes up part of the team of railroad workers that keeps the train traveling safely down the tracks.
C.
Tickets, please. Tickets.
The conductor is another very important member of the railroad team of workers.
Skokie Valley route to Winthrop Harbor via Skokie, Racine, Kenosha, Zion, North Chicago Junction, Waukegan. Tickets, please.
Conductor.
The conductor is the team member of the railroad who makes sure that the trains run on time. He takes care of the passengers, and he is the important member of the team who says, "All aboard." The conductor is like the captain of the train. He is the boss. The coupling is where the train cars are connected together. It's kind of like each car is holding hands with one another, but a little more complicated.
Coupling.
Does anybody recognize this danger sign?
Railroad crossing. Railroad crossing.
That's right. This is the sign that you see that alerts you and your family that there is a railroad crossing in the road. We always stop, look, and listen at a railroad crossing.
The lights are flashing. Here comes another one. Don't cross the tracks now.
Sometimes there are flashing lights and gates that come down to guard you from the dangers of the train coming. Never go around the gates or near the tracks or try to cross when the lights are flashing. It is extremely dangerous.
D. Danger.
That's very good. You should recognize danger. It is important to know what this word looks like. If you see danger, getting anywhere close could hurt you. Does anyone know what kind of locomotive this is?
Diesel.
Great job! Yes, this locomotive has a diesel-powered engine.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at how they diesel. There's 3 red diesels. Cool.
Diesel engines are now used more often than old-fashioned steam-powered engines.
Steam engine.
They cause less air pollution and use diesel fuel instead of coal, which is very expensive. Their engines are more efficient. Diesel engines look very different from steam engines. Can you see what is different between these two engines?
One square, one circle. One square, one has a smokestack and one doesn't.
Very good. Now, do you see anything that is the same about these two different types of engines?
They have headlights, they have windows, they have taillights, they have wheels.
Can you tell which one of these 4 is a different kind of locomotive?
Blue diesel. Blue diesel.
Yes, the blue one is a diesel engine and the others are steam locomotives. Here's another one. Which one of these are the same and which one is different?
The wet one. Red diesel.
Very good. You know that all the engines are diesels, but that 3 of them are painted green and are coming out of a tunnel. The fourth engine is painted red, and there is no tunnel.
There's no tunnel.
How about these two engines? Are they the same or different?
Same. It's the same.
That's right. Except for their different numbers, these two steam engines look the same. This could be called a double-engined train.
Double engine train.
When there are two things just the same, right next to each other, they can be called double.
Double.
These cars are called double stacks because there are two boxes, one right on top of the other.
Double stack.
The dispatcher keeps track of all the trains. This is where the dispatcher controls the railway.
Dispatcher.
It's his job to keep the train safely going down the tracks without running into each other. The dispatcher uses computer screens to keep track of where every train is.
Look at all those computers.
The dispatchers in this room control the whole CSX railroad. This train in Indiana is being controlled by the dispatcher several hundred miles away in Florida.
E. Engineer.
The engineer is a key player on the railroad's team of workers. He keeps in touch with the dispatcher and makes sure all systems are go when driving the train to its destination. The engineer has to read the signals and make decisions with good judgment. This is a very responsible job, and he is an important member of the team which helps the train to travel safely. Where's the engineer?
There's the engineer. Train is going up the mountain tracks.
Engines are what makes the trains move down the tracks.
Engine.
We have seen two different kinds of engines so far. The diesel-powered engine and the steam-powered engine. Well, another different kind of engine commonly used today in America is the electric engine.
There's an electric train.
The electric engine or train car uses wires that connect electricity to power its engine instead of steam power or diesel power. Electric cars like these are very efficient, but are usually only used in big cities or between big cities where there are wires over the tracks so that they can stay connected for their power. Can you see the wires?
Wires. Up there. Here's the wires. Up there. Yes.
This train is really moving fast.
Fast.
Here are some other trains that are going fast.
I'm going fast. Fast. That's fast.
Here in America, one of the fastest trains is the Southwest Chief. Here we are going 90 miles an hour. Wow!
Wow.
Steam engines also went fast.
Fireman. Look at the fire.
On many steam engines, the firemen added coal to the engine to keep the fire very strong so that the water boiled and enough steam was created to power the engine.
Fireman.
This is a freight train.
Freight train.
It carries no passengers, but is very important. All kinds of cars carry freight. The freight could be different things that we use or buy at the store, or really big things like materials used to build houses. The different cars bring goods to us all across America.
Freight train.
We will learn more about different kinds of cars that carry freight later on in this program.
Look at all the cars. Gee.
As this train is coming near, we can see that it is a passenger train. Lots of people love to ride on trains. Generations of families have enjoyed train rides together for over 100 years. Moms, dads, grandmothers, grandfathers, and boys and girls can all enjoy train rides. Some of your grandfathers may have worked on the railroad many years ago.
Grandfather.
They have many stories to tell about the excitement of running trains across America. Generations can also enjoy trains together and never leave home. This family has their own model railroad in their backyard. This is called a garden railroad, and it's lots of fun for the whole family to enjoy. This layout is G gauge.
Gauge.
Gauge is a name used to tell the size of the model train and its track width. There are many different sizes of gauges of model trains.
Look at all the trains.
Let's take a look at some of the different gauges that there are, from the smallest to the biggest. There's Z gauge, N, HO, S, O, standard, and of course G.
Gauge.
Real trains have different gauges too. Most are called standard gauge, but some have tracks closer together and are called narrow gauge. See the narrow gauge track inside the standard gauge track?
Narrow gauge. H.
What is this called?
Headlight. Headlight.
That's right. This is the headlight. The headlight is always on all train engines. This is for many reasons, but all of them are for safety. It makes the train easier to see in the daylight from very far away. It's difficult to tell how far away a train is, but you know that it's coming if you see the headlight. At night, of course, the engineer needs the headlight to see the track in front of him as far as possible to make sure that it's clear down the track.
There's a headlight.
The headlight allows the engineer to see farther at night. When the engineer stops the train, what does he turn to put on the brakes?
Handle.
That's right. He turns the brake handle. Even though it's the engineer and the locomotive who stops the train, each car has its own handbrake that is sometimes used to keep the car stopped.
Handbrake.
The stories your grandfather might tell you are a part of our history.
History.
History is a story about something that has happened a long time ago, last week, or even yesterday. If it has passed, then it is history.
History.
Over 150 years ago, now that's a long, long time ago, trains and their tracks were first being built and put together. It took a lot of dedicated people and a lot of time. The first engine to haul passengers was called the locomotion.
Locomotion.
The locomotion hauled the fastest passenger train of its time, but it only went 20 miles an hour.